Prom season is upon us, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it and tell you some of the things that I want young women to know about prom season. Promposals have gotten crazy out of hand. When I was in high school, we did not have promposals. We had nothing of the sort. Poor boys in the world did not have to plan a promposal and then an engagement or a real proposal later on in their life. First of all, if you don't get a big promposal in the cutest way, there's like guys riding into schools on horses. I don't know what this is about. But if you don't have a guy do some, elaborate promposal for you, do not worry and do not think that you are any less than the girls who do have this massive promposal. So when I was in high school, one of my friends had a date, but the other 5, there were 6 of us that went together, did not. So we went by ourselves. I bought a $20 dress from Forever 21. It was black and it had sleeves and it was really simple because I just wanted to have fun with my friends. So we went in one of my friend's vans. We had an awesome time. It was such a fabulous night. We went home to my friend's house. We made s'mores at her campfire and we went to bed. It was a fabulous night and we had so much fun together, and there's so many ideas that the world throws at us as young women in high school about what prom is supposed to be, and I want to talk about some of those things today. The first is that prom is this night where you go out to the dance with all of your friends and then you go to some person's house and you have this great party and everyone gets drunk and everyone parties and blah blah and this and that. Prom doesn't have to be that way. There is no reason why it has to be that way. The culture, prom culture, tells us that that's cool, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't have to do that. Like I said, I went home to my friend's house and we had an awesome night and we made s'mores and just had a great time together. And you can do that on prom, and it's not gonna make your prom any less special than the people who go out to the parties and stuff. A lot of times, there's a lot of peer pressure involved in going to those kinds of parties, and when you show up at those parties, there is even more peer pressure to drink, to do drugs, etc. And it's okay to say, no, I don't want to go to those things. And if you end up at one of those things, it is okay to say no if someone offers you a drink or drugs or whatever. The word no is a very, very, very important thing to have in our arsenal of things that we feel comfortable saying. And you could say, I'm not comfortable doing that to your friends or to your date or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, you're so lame, oh, you're such a party pooper, this and that, whatever. We've been over people saying unkind things to us and what that tells us about who they are. When people gather at things like prom after parties and drink and do drugs and hook up and all of these things, a lot of it surrounds peer pressure. A lot of it surrounds our want as people to not look uncool to our friends, especially in high school. Everyone wants to be accepted. No one wants to be the outcast. And if your date or your friends or someone says like, hey, I want to go to this thing or whatever, you are free to say no and to call someone you love and trust and to say, I'm not comfortable in the situation that I'm in. Will you please come pick me up? That is a perfectly fine thing to do, and that is a good thing to do if you are in a situation that makes you uncomfortable. I've had so many conversations with women surrounding prom, and so many women who said like, I, went somewhere after prom, or I was with my date and we went to this thing and I wasn't comfortable, but I didn't say anything, and it made their prom an overall unhappy experience. They do not have happy memories of it. So I want to encourage you that you have the power to say no to any after party, any pre-partying business that you don't want to be involved in. The other misconception about prom is that you have to give of yourself, give of your body to your boyfriend or your date in losing your virginity, having sex, hooking up, etc. You do not have to give of your body on prom night just because that's something that people say that people do on prom night. Your body belongs to you, not your prom date, not your boyfriend. This pressure to give of ourselves physically on prom is ridiculous, and it's such a meaningless myth, and it's such a silly myth, and so many women buy into that lie and that myth that that's what prom is about, that you owe that to your date for doing nice things for you, for buying you such and such a thing, for buying your ticket, buying your limo, whatever. You do not owe anything any part of yourself to the guy that takes you or to your boyfriend on prom night. Losing virginity on prom night or hooking up with your date or your boyfriend is not going to give you feelings of fulfillment or make your prom this happy, memorable thing. And if that comes up at all, if that is any situation that you're put in with your date or with your boyfriend, feel free to use those words. No, or I am not comfortable with this. And set your own boundaries. Is that really hard to do? Yeah, it's always hard to use the word no and to say the words I'm not comfortable with this in situations where that is the case, because we fear how other people will react. But we each get to live with the consequences, positive and negative, of our own decisions. I lived with very positive consequences for my choice on prom. Do I regret them at all? Absolutely not. And these myths that it has to be some drinking, drugs, hooking up, giving of yourself to a guy kind of thing, those are all lies. And those are lies that we can decide as women that we don't need to believe. So I hope that if you are going to a prom that you have an awesome time, and remember to make great choices for yourself and make choices that are going to make you happy, and makes prom something that's really memorable that you can always look back on with fondness and happiness, because I definitely do. So from my heart to yours, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.